Everybody, I'm sure many of you guys are probably wondering about this laptop, my Dell Inspiron 1525. I heard it a few weeks ago. Yes, it actually got ran over. And you guys are probably wondering, how's it doing? It's doing just fine, actually. It's got a brand new solid state drive installed. Got Windows installed and everything. Been using it for a couple of weeks now, and it's been doing great. So anyways, this is going to give you a little tour of it, I guess. Installed a Crucial BX100 250GB solid state drive. Let's go ahead and start it up and see how it does. Keep in mind, this is a hard disk LED. Alright, let's go and log in. Yeah, like no time at all, we already had the desktop. So, yeah, wasn't much time at all. Let's go and have a look here. Just get a general idea how fast it starts up things. Like, for example, let's do Google Earth. Really, really fast. Considering this laptop is from 2008. This is a Dell Inspiron 1525 that I've upgraded many times over the past. It currently has an Intel Core 2 Duo processor T9300 mobile processor, 2.5 gig, 4 gigs of G.Skill memory. It now has this 250GB Crucial solid state drive, a 9-cell battery, DVD burner, things like that. And I must say, even considering the laptop's age, it still does pretty well. It's not often you find a laptop that survives other than the LCD and the hard drive. Yes, for those who did not watch the previous video, the LCD got pretty much destroyed. The hard disk was actually warped, but not a single bit of plastic on this thing is broken. Not one single piece. The keyboard's fine. The DVD drive's fine. All the ports are fine, things like that. I'll show you the hard drive and the LCD for the end of the video. This is kind of, I guess, one calls more of a tour of a solid state drive in an older laptop. To be honest, with an older laptop like this, installing a solid state drive can really improve the performance. Considering this machine only has 4 gigs of memory, on systems that don't have a whole lot of RAM, generally, once you start to use a lot of memory, the computer starts to use what's called slot space in your hard drive, and generally that will slow things down big time. Now, with solid state drives, is nowhere near as bad. Now, if you're wondering about speed of the actual solid state drive itself, let's go ahead and do a speed test using software called QuickBench. Now, this is actually an older program, so I'm not exactly sure how accurate it is. Now, keep in mind, this is only a SATA 300 system. Get you a good focus here and get that light off of there. There we go. Let's do a speed test. It's roughly between 250 and 260 megabytes per second. Sequential read and write is about 160. Now, of course, that's why I'm saying I'm not exactly sure if this program is really accurate. But you can see it actually moves pretty well. And as again, I mentioned, this is only a SATA 300 system, a SATA 2.0, not a 6 gigabit per second system. But overall, this thing has performed better than it ever has before. Amazing. The computer has actually got ran over before. It's actually doing quite well now. So let's go and load a few more programs. We got Google Earth up. Let's do Chrome. So show you how fast Chrome loads. Let's do some Office applications too, like Office 2010. Let's do, while that's loading, let's go ahead and do Microsoft Word. Scroll down and find it. Office 2013, I guess, link. There's Office 2010. How about Word, as I mentioned? Instantaneous. No problem whatsoever. How about Excel and PowerPoint? There's Excel. Nearly instant. And PowerPoint. Nearly instantaneous. Pulls up just fine, no problem at all. On a 2008 model laptop. So yeah, that's one of the big advantages of, you know, a setup like this. Is the performance that you get out of a solid state drive. The neat thing is solid state drives have definitely come down in price quite a bit. I paid roughly $90 for this solid state drive. It's a 250 gigabyte Crucial BX100 off of Amazon. Now I think they've went up to like $95 or something like that. Overall, prices of solid state drives are coming down, which is definitely good news. Used to be, it was very expensive to get even like a 256 gigabyte drive. But even nowadays, getting, you know, that size is a whole lot cheaper, and they're expecting to get even cheaper than that here pretty soon. So, especially in laptops or desktops, you know, it's definitely not a bad idea to consider a solid state drive. And for example, like if you're looking at Mid-Tower Deluxe, I need lots of storage space. Well, I have 4 terabytes of that with an arrayed stripe on 2 conventional hard drives. But for the OS, I have, you know, that's actually on a solid state drive. And believe it or not, this brand new Crucial solid state drive is actually faster than the solid state drive that's in the Mid-Tower Deluxe. It actually outruns it in the QuickBench test. Funny, really funny. But yes, in regards to laptops, you know, solid state drives are very easy to upgrade because you simply slide them in. They're 2.5-inch drives. And basically, many of them actually come with an adapter. Here's a Kingston I'm getting ready to install to another computer. It's the actual SSD. You know, it's a 7mm. Again, so back to what I was saying. You know, solid state drives are very good with performance, obviously. Another good thing is, they're very durable. This is why another reason why they're good for laptops. You know, laptops are always getting carried around, dropped by mistake, things like that. I doubt it would actually survive getting run over, but solid state drives are durable. They're solid state. They have no moving parts. So I can, you know, used to be, if I did this, well, with my laptop, I'd be a little concerned, especially if the hard drive was actually reading something. But nowadays, I don't have to worry near as much about that. And another thing, you know, another nice advantage to this, the solid state drive, is energy efficiency. Let's look at the battery here. I actually have to pull up a little utility to do that. Let's get that out of the way. Let's pull up utility. Let's do hardware monitor. Latest and greatest version as of now. Which, by the way, this is Windows 7 Professional 64-bit. Now, the battery doesn't have much of a charge on it right now. Currently, it actually holds about 59 watt-hours of a charge. I bought this battery back in late 2011 off of Amazon for like $30, and here it is, early 2015. Battery's still doing excellent. I tell you, the batteries off Amazon, I don't think I've ever had any major issues out of them. It currently has only like 15 watt-hours of a charge. But the neat thing about this is it will go, you know, I started this thing the day at work and it ran from, let's say, 2 o'clock to 5:30 on a full charge. And for an older laptop like this that's not as efficient as a newer one, it's definitely not too bad. So it ran, you know, 3.5 hours of miscellaneous use. Definitely not bad. Used to be, I couldn't get anywhere near as much as that with the previous drive. Which, by the way, that drive was a 500 gigabyte Seagate solid state hybrid drive. Basically, it was a 7200 RPM, 2.5-inch drive with 4 gigabytes of solid state cache memory built in. So you had somewhat of, you know, had a little bit of solid state performance here and there, but you had kind of a high performance hard drive. And generally, the throughput for the sequential rate on that drive was like 100 megabytes per second. Nowhere near as fast as a solid state drive. So, you know, there's 3 things that a solid state drive really gives you in regards to advantages. You have, you know, obviously performance, much faster than a conventional hard drive. Number 2, durability. Number 3, energy efficiency. So anyways, the Delorton 1525 that got run over a few weeks back is running just fine. No problems at all whatsoever. Runs fantastic. So let's go and do a restart. So you can see. Barely even accessing the drive there. And obviously there's a little bit of time taken away from putting in a password. You can see it still starts up very quickly. This is the fastest thing it's ever run in the many years I've had it. I've had this thing since 2011. So I've had this thing for quite a while, and it's never been as fast. Because even solid state drives can be a huge improvement for even older machines. Now generally, you notice it's not running as fast as some of those YouTube videos you may see once in a while of solid state drives. Now, generally, in most scenarios, the hard drive is the bottleneck of the computer. But in an older system like this, when you replace with a solid-state drive, you may notice how the hard disk LED was not fully lit all the time. It's like, you know, the drive didn't seem like it's being heavily accessed. And that's because the drive is so fast that the rest of the computer now becomes a bottleneck, because this is an older machine. But as I mentioned, you know, even for an older machine like this, solid-state drives are a fantastic improvement. Now, for in this video, let me go and show you the LCD from this thing. I'm going to grab it down in the hard drive. There's the original LCD to the laptop. You can probably see the damage there in the corner. Look how much flex there is in the LCD right there. It's ruptured pretty well. Definitely. In the hard drive, well, you guys don't like that. Let's have a look at that. Now, I may do a video later on of me actually opening this up. But have you guys ever seen a hard drive that sat on the table and did this? That's because it is warped. Now it's obviously done. Can't recover any files off of it, but you know, most of the stuff I save is most of the important stuff I save is on the Mintaur Lux anyway. Yeah, guys, have a look at that. It got crushed pretty much on the back corner. You can really see the warp there. It got crushed on the back side. Well, you know, the tire of the vehicle actually ran over it here. This is where it connects to the motherboard and the computer. The whole corner of this laptop was pushed down. Yeah, I mean, it was pushed down hard. Let's go and shut her down. I'll show you something here. I don't know if I really covered this very well in my previous video, so I'll go ahead and show you now. And watch how fast it shuts down. Yep, instantaneous. Basically, every single screw in this laptop, every single screw was backed out. Well, almost. You know, pretty much all the screws in this area. I had to retighten them because we're talking about a Jeep Grand Cherokee here. You know, it's a pretty heavy vehicle. Not like a basic little, you know, economy car. We're talking about an SUV with a V8 engine in it. Pretty heavy. Every screw in this area was backed out. The cover was backed out. Had to snap a couple pieces of plastic back into place, but not a single piece of plastic was broke on this thing. Not one single piece. And it's just amazing. You know, newer laptops, you know, even from Dell, pretty much anything with Windows 8 or something like that on it. You know, I wouldn't expect it to have survived at all. I suspect it probably would have cracked, you know, the palm rest, you know, things like that. I think if I ran over it dead center, obviously it probably would have destroyed it. But the way that it was hit in the corner, you know, it was away from the actual motherboard. I think that may be what has actually saved it. But yes, this Dell Inspiron 1525 lives on. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.
Cube Computer Company.